Hello, welcome to the Be Still podcast with Maureen.
And Michelle.
Today, we'll be talking about finances. And under the topic of finances, we would like to categorize it into two. First, we'll talk about money, and then we'll go on to talk about the jobs that Christians can do. We're still on the topic of liberties. We would like to know what liberties are we given as Christians when it comes to finances? Are we allowed to have a lot of money? How are we supposed to use our money? So as we begin, Michelle, tell us, what does the world say about money?
Money is good. Money comes with comfort, luxury, and options. So with money, you have options. You can choose because you can afford anything. So unaweza amua uende Bata, Mr. Price, supermarket. So money comes with options.
Yeah, it's true, by the way. When you have money, unaweza chagua.
Unaweza choose kama uende KFC ama uende Java ama uende Eka. But as you don't have money, your options are very limited.
Yeah, money is good. We enjoy life when you have money because you can travel to whichever country you want at whatever time you want.
Yeah,
you're not limited by finances because usually that's the limiting factor.
Yeah, true. And you can also choose whatever means of transport.
Yes, there's that. It's a good thing, right?
But then say, pesa ni sabuni ya roho. Ama? Yeah.
Na inakuosha pia.
Okay, you look different. Like if you see the before and after pictures of celebrities,
it's true.
You say nyewe,
pesa ni sabuni.
Money is
Yeah, it's true, by the way. The world says a lot about money. There's also the aspect of making money is what is important right now. Like, it's the most important thing for most of us. Even believers, like, making money is like, we consider it very important because, we need it for our daily bread.
Yeah, you need it to survive on earth.
Yeah. And we are still on earth, so.
So we need money.
We do need money, yeah. Moving on to what does the Bible say about money?
So the Bible talks a lot about money. Yeah. So I recently heard John Piper saying Jesus talked more about money than he even talked about hell or heaven. So it is a very crucial thing, especially in the life of a believer, to the point that Jesus had to constantly be talking about it. Yeah. In Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10, Maureen, please tell us what it says.
It says, whoever loves money never has money enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. That is the NIV version.
And these are the words of Solomon.
Yes.
This is among the wealthiest of kings.
He had everything.
Yeah. Women, money,
wisdom.
Wow. And he's saying, whoever loves money
never has money enough.
It's true. It's never enough.
Yeah. And that's the thing, really. Money is never enough.
Yeah.
No matter how much you have, there's always a need that you need to meet that requires money.
Well, I don't even think so. I think Tuni always, it's just greed, just wanting. Because you can be a billionaire, and you're still looking for more money. Yet, ile billions you now, they can sustain you until you die.
Why is she looking for more money?
Because you love money.
Is it because you love money or because there are more needs? Well,
no.
Someone said the more money you have, the more needs you have.
Or more money, more problems. But I don't think you're looking for it because you have needs that the billions can't meet. It's just that you want to have more.
Okay. Well.
But even if you have billions in your account, you can just retire and not work, and you will not die poor unless you squander.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself a limit, maybe you tumiange.
But now there's this lifestyle that you've created that needs that constant, income.
Yeah, maybe kuna lifestyle ya billionaires yenye the expenditure is in billions.
Yes, exactly.
Na mimi wa hundreds. No matter naona siwezi isha. If I use 500 every day, I can never finish billions.
Exactly. For you, since you get hundreds of thousands now.
Hundreds of thousands? No, I meant like hundreds, not hundreds.
Like hundreds of shillings.
Not of thousands.
Okay, let's give it. Or some someone who gets hundreds of thousands
Uh-huh.
and they get billions. Now okay, unless of course they love money, as you've said, it's never enough, even when you get billions. But there are those people who are used to a very extravagant life that they can't go down. The moment they start going down, they get depressed.
Oh yeah, you always want more. You want better.
Maybe you were raised in a home where, money was never an issue. Like,
Mhm.
you never had to think about how much you need to spend.
Oh yeah.
You just give your card and then you'd be
You don't
fine.
even ask
Yeah,
how much.
I know, right?
The moment you begin asking how much, just know you don't have money. Because you have a budget that you cannot exceed. There's that song that says,
Someone said also, Michelle, the moment unatoa calculator kwa supermarket,
ni kubaya.
ati unaanza kuhesabu how much 315 plus 520 plus. Yeah, just know.
You're not doing very well.
Well, there are those people who are very conscious when it comes to spending.
Yeah, they are disciplined.
It's not that they don't have money,
Mm.
but tu ni watu wa control. Like, they just controlling they're control freaks. They just want to
Or they're
control
disciplined in their expenditure.
Okay.
It could be a good discipline because why
There are
are
those
you
people who
spending
stick
millions?
on the budget.
Yes.
Like, I've decided to spend 20,000 and that's the much
all
I've
I'm
spent.
spending today.
Yes. And then there are those people who are like, it's fine, you can just spend as much as you want and all that.
Yeah, my friend told me her son
Mm.
is very young. He's not even 10. So when they leave the house, they're going for shopping, and she tells him, we're going to buy boots. Then they get to town, and then she begins to say, Ama tununue hii. The son says, no, we came to buy boots. That's all we are buying.
Oh, that's nice.
And he says, no, and no, even if the mom wants to, it's for you, I'm buying this, maybe Crocs. I want to buy this Crocs. No, mom, we came to buy boots. Imagine you will not buy anything else.
Well, the wife will have a hard time though.
And he's not even 10 years
The
old.
wife will have a hard time. Okay, sorry to say, but anyway.
So the mom doesn't tell him what they're going to buy.
Yeah.
Because sasa atamkataza ku impulse buy.
Ako sawa sana by the way. But mostly ladies do impulse buy. Men, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much.
But anyway, Michelle, read us the next verse.
Ecclesiastes 7:12.
Mhm.
It says, wisdom is a shelter as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it. So to mean, money does not.
It's not the most important.
Yeah, so wisdom has an advantage over money. In as much as they both provide shelter,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, wisdom is what preserves you.
Yeah.
And not your money.
Yeah, because there's some safety that comes with having money.
Yeah, you feel secure.
Yeah.
When you just know you have money somewhere.
Yeah.
Unatembeanga na confidence.
Sana.
But sazile, you don't have anything. You're so conscious.
Yeah, even your self-esteem may not be so high. You may be a bit held back because you don't have money.
To mean,
But
we find our identity
yes,
in money.
Exactly. We don't trust that God is the one who gives us our identity.
Yeah, true.
And our confidence, we find it in money.
Yeah.
Which is a very wrong
It even
thinking,
determines
even for
your
Christians.
mood.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, it's a very bad mood. You're irritable. You're just the world is so hard.
It's true.
But when you have money, you just feel happy. You can't explain.
There's a joy that comes. And our joy should come from the Lord, not from money.
Sasa tutafanya aje jamani? So that takes us to Hebrews 13:5.
Mm-hmm.
Hebrews 13:5 warns us about loving money.
Yeah.
So let me get there and read so that we do not misquote anything.
Yeah.
So Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5, it says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Why? Because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't you think it's interesting that they had to put that part here because God had said? Because God has said.
He'll never leave us.
Yeah. And that comes just after, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. And then they give a reason why you should be content with what you have. Because God has said, he'll never leave you, he'll never forsake you. So whether or not you have money,
Yeah.
there's just that constant awareness that God is with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through a really hard time. I'm broke, but God is with me, and that should give you comfort
Yeah.
to know that the creator of the universe is with you as you go through this difficult time.
Yep.
And even when you do have a lot of money, still remember, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. So do not find your security in your wealth, but in God.
Yeah, because even Jesus talks about not worrying. Because even if we worry, how
What
does
will
it?
that
Yeah,
do?
how does that help us? If he dresses the lilies, how much more for us, whom he loves, whom we are created in?
In his image.
Yeah. So I think there's also that aspect of not trusting in God enough to know that he'll provide, and that's the reason why we look to money
Yeah.
to give us safety and peace and joy and comfort.
Yeah, and it sort of does give you those things, but not.
It's temporary.
Yes.
Because money comes and goes.
You
This
came
season
with
we have
nothing
money, yeah.
and you leave with nothing.
Yeah.
And also, it does not feel that hole that,
Yeah.
we all have a God shaped hole that only God can fill. So, money will sort of mimic, like it's feeling that hole. Like, it's not, that's why you'll still want more money, more money. Some people, when they're feeling depressed, they go for shopping. It's your luxury. I do other things that don't involve money.
Well, at least hauna hiyo luxury. Kama ungekuwa nayo ungekuwa unaenda shopping.
Ni vizuri sina. God knows our strengths and our weaknesses, so
You'd be going for shopping.
But
I don't know.
also,
Me, I'm more of a nature kind of person. If I'm depressed, I'd rather go do some kind of an outdoorsy activity or something.
me, money makes me happy.
Okay.
Yeah, so just buying and
As long as
owning.
you don't love it, you're good.
I like owning nice things. So if I'm feeling bad, I just go and buy something nice, and then I feel nice.
Oh, Michelle. So you're one of those people.
I'm one of those people. Ni pesa tu inanizuia, lakini
Ungekuwa nayo, tungekuwa tunashtuka huku nje.
everything designer.
Wale wa Nikite.
Yes. Nikie. I don't.
Be careful not to buy Nikite.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we should go and read 1 Timothy. It's a very good verse about not loving money.
Yeah.
1 Timothy chapter 6. We'll read from verse 6.
Yeah, all the way. Are you going all the way to 10?
Yes. I think it's all important.
Yeah.
So tunaendeleza tu maudhui ya contentment. We've just talked about contentment in Hebrews and how we should be content with what we have. So here in Timothy, we read that, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. That's now the famous verse. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. So for me, this verse talks about everything.
Yeah.
Starting with contentment, then reminding us that we brought nothing into this world and we can take nothing out of it. So in as much as unaweza collect na store up treasures, yeah. The day you die, hakuna anything you'll go with. The same way you came out of your mother's womb with nothing, it's the same way you leave this world with nothing.
Yeah.
And then he says, but, so this is interesting. I don't know why he chose to say these two things. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that.
Because you have what you need.
Food and clothing.
Yeah. That's what we need to survive, by the way. Oftentimes we think we need a lot of things, but it's only food, and if you have and shelter, of course, you have somewhere to sleep, to lay your head.
Hata shelter si lazima. Unaweza tu hostiwa.
Hadi ukufe.
Jesus didn't have anywhere to lay his head.
But he was the son of man.
Exactly. See, we are all sons of men.
Wow.
We were
No, you know what I mean.
See, we
We are all sons of men, but he was Jesus. He was God and man at the same time.
So how is that related
and he was
to him
only
not
here
having?
for a season.
No, he lived for 33 years.
Exactly. Michelle,
So how is that
unaelekea ngapi
related
sahi?
with? How is that related to not having a place to live? Because you see, they're always being hosted.
So can you have a family and be hosted every?
No, now that needs wisdom.
Exactly.
You see, Jesus was not married.
Exactly. He was here on a mission, and his mission was just for 3 years, right? He started his mission when he was 30. He finished it when he was 33. Yeah. So he was only on a mission for 3 years. But before he started, he used to lay his head in his parents' house.
But hapa wajaandika house. Amesema if we have food and clothing.
Well, shelter is not as important.
Because you can live. You always kosa pahali pa kuweka kichwa. As believers, we need to like have hospitality.
Yeah. We should be hospitable. Yeah.
So we can host people. But of course, once you have a family, you need to take care of your family. Yeah. So you need to provide those basic
That's where wisdom comes in now. Because now you can't just be what are they called? This word is
homeless.
Not homeless.
I don't know.
No, a parent who doesn't provide.
Deadbeat.
Yes, a deadbeat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me, I think I am up. I have food and clothing, and I'm contented.
Well, yeah, it's true, but I don't think contentment should also make you be lazy.
Yeah, now that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Because now there are people who are just generally lazy and they're like, yeah, I'm just fine where I am.
Niko food.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good to go. So where do you draw the line between laziness and contentment?
Because the Bible also talks about working hard.
Yeah. True.
Even Paul was a tent maker. And he was in ministry.
And I think the Holy Spirit will definitely convict you. When you're becoming lazy, He will let you know you're becoming lazy. Yeah. So it's just maybe wewe usitilie maanani. But He will, because God does not encourage laziness.
At all.
Even Him, He worked.
Yeah.
He works. So we are all required. That verse says, if you do not work, you should not eat. Yes, so the Bible does not encourage sasa juu unafaa tu kuwe contented, ukwe mvivu. No. And when you are becoming lazy and you're a believer, the Holy Spirit will convict you of that sin.
It's true. Not tapping into your full potential that God has given you. Because now that is, we're getting into stewardship, the ability that God has given you. Are you tapping into that ability, or you just, using the very, very little energy, the least every day?
You're giving minimum.
And you're okay with that.
Yeah, because I've had an issue with that. Sometimes I wonder, am I being lazy? Am I being contented? I've had a hard time trying to differentiate the two. And so sometimes I beat myself up. I'm like, wow, by this age, I should have accomplished 1, 2, 3. Now look at me. I'm in my mother's house, eating my mother's food. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I have a hard time telling kama tu nimeridhika na penye niko sasa niko sawa, because I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to buy food.
Ama you're letting God have His way in your life. There's also that aspect.
It's a season of life that I'm in, and I should not complain, but rather just trust that God will get me out of this. But as I'm waiting and trusting, am I supposed to be doing something?
I think you're supposed to be doing something as you wait, but not something in terms of taking control and charge in a way that is not godly, like doing some jobs that are not godly because you're too desperate.
And I'm trying to take charge.
Yeah, but rather you ask God to lead you in a way that also. But there are seasons where, God is not really silent, but He's working and you're not seeing the things that He's doing. I have a friend of mine who searched for a job for like 10 years. Like, it was a very hard season for him.
I can imagine.
And the worst part is he's a Christian. So you can imagine what people are saying.
That's the best part.
No, like when it comes to the world, not the worst. I'm talking, okay, the worst part when it comes to the world is that he's a Christian, because people are like, well, si Mungu akusaidia, like ujaipata kazi and you know the Lord and all that.
Yeah.
And then the best part is that he's a Christian, because God is the one who gave him the ability to wait for all those 10 years
To endure.
till the end and not compromise his faith. Because he waited for, he told me it was a very hard time. There were times he'd just call his dad and he'd cry.
Oh no.
And now the dad is quiet because now what
can he do?
what can he do? So it was a very hard season. And during that time of waiting, he would get small jobs, but they wouldn't last for long.
I understand. I relate.
They would only be for say a few months, maybe a year. Even his girlfriend left him.
Oh my
It was,
Well, at least
when it rains, it pours it.
Yeah, siku yenye amekufa miti yote huteleza. So moving on to verse 9 of 1 Timothy chapter 6. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. Then our very famous verse, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs.
Yeah. Love of money.
Yes. Is a root
Yeah.
of all kinds of evil. And it's very true.
Yeah.
Because loving money will cause you to go to certain extremes. You'll kill, you'll steal, you will lie just to get money because you love money. And that's why people also end up doing some funny jobs.
Yeah.
Because wamependa pesa to the point, sasa ijalishi, bora tu nipate pesa. Now we get to hear about wash. We get to hear about people doing funny, random things.
Yeah, and some people claim that it's from God.
Yeah.
Those people who are like, you know what? Mungu anajua nahitaji pesa. Sasa leta huyu mtu.
I'll provide in this manner.
Yeah. And God is not in any way connected to evil.
No.
And we should never ever think that just because he solves our problem, it's from God.
Yeah, and because you've been praying about it.
Yes.
And then this opportunity shows up, it automatically means this has to be from the Lord.
It's true.
Because kama ina contradict whatever he says, then how can it
in his word? Yes.
Yeah, how can it be again from him? So tunajidanganya.
We deceive ourselves.
Yeah.
And as believers, some believers have drifted from the faith because of pursuit of money. Like you're so consumed with the pursuit of money that you now start looking for it in areas where God is not involved. Your faith is compromised. You have to do things that are very ungodly, and it's really sad that we have had to do that.
Yeah, we have compromised in so many ways.
Because even
and then tunasema but sikukuwa na choice aki.
Because even the cheating that we were saying, the lying that we did, it's because of money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we wanted to get good jobs,
get money,
be comfortable.
So the root cause was money. So the root of all evil,
it's true,
is money. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I feel condemned.
Yes, Michelle. So, what do we do about it now that we've learned that money is a very strong what is it called? How do I put this?
It's a strong influence, and it's also very nice. Well, it appears to be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and
as
God
Christians,
said, God said you cannot serve money and serve God
at the same time.
Either love one and hate the other.
So then how do we live our lives as Christians, not being consumed by the love of money? Because there's a very thin line between kutafuta for your daily needs and kuipenda. Like I really want to get like $1 million by the end of the year. How do we now? Where do we now draw the line, and how do we navigate every single day without being consumed with that feeling of just I want money, I need money?
I think first is to love God. Yeah. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. If you can love God and pursue God first, then everything else will
be added.
Yeah, and then seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. then all these things will be added unto you.
Yeah.
So seek God first. Put God first. Like we said, Solomon had pretty much everything that a human being could have wanted, and he still went astray. But if Solomon had only obeyed God's commands, not marrying foreign wives, not marrying multiple wives, just focusing on the Lord, not worshipping idols, obeying the Lord, if he had focused on trusting and believing God, I think his reign would have been wonderful. And he wouldn't have to, as we read Ecclesiastes and he says, vanity, vanity. Yeah, so put God first.
I think there's also the aspect of trust.
Yes.
Yeah, as you put God first, trust that He'll provide. That every single day your needs. You know, sometimes, when I'm having a trouble paying rent, your job,
Yeah.
and I go to God and I'm like, God, I really need you to provide my rent. And at that time, you don't even know where it's going because business at that time is hard.
It's very bad.
Yeah, it's very bad. Things are not going very well, and you go there and you just praying to God and you're asking Him, God, please provide my rent. And as I said, I think there's an aspect of me that's like, God, I really need you to come through. You know, you everything you're pegging it on God.
Yeah, like I don't have any other source.
Exactly, you have no other source, and you know He ends up providing in ways that you didn't even think, because at the back of your mind you're like,
just
this
give
is
me
how
customers.
exactly this is how God will provide this money,
Yeah.
but He provides it in ways that I didn't even think He'd provide.
True.
And I'm like, wow, it amazes me because of the way He does it. So I think also trusting in God with all our hearts is very important, and not leaning on our own understanding. Because even when I'm praying, sometimes I lean on my understanding and say, probably at a later more customers, or probably because I have two jobs, probably at a later on this side of my other hustle. But annihilator in a way that I didn't even think annihilator, and it's very it makes me feel like not feel nilikataza kusema feel. It makes me see how God uses ways that we would never comprehend.
His ways are not our ways,
nor His thoughts.
Yes, that's true. And even if you do lack, that does not mean He has abandoned you. That does not mean, Sasa, you should not trust Him. Because Paul said he has learned to live in abundance and with lack. And he said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So you can go through sleeping hungry for one night through Christ who gives you strength. He will strengthen you. You will persevere. Hata utashangaa na nilisurvive. Utakuwa na
and He gives us peace in that season
that surpasses understanding. So hata watu hapo mwenyewe uelewi na watu pia waelewi ulisurvive. Ulikuwa unalala njaa. You mean even the vitu zilikuwa? So He gives us strength to go through those things. And trusting in Him, whether good, whether bad, as He said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. So just remembering, in this hard season, you have no money. People are expecting things from you. Age mates are doing better than you are. And it's just looking like it's bad.
Unakaa ni kama uendi, hausongi kwa maisha.
Hey!
Things are just not working out.
Hey! Everything is
in
going
all areas.
South.
Yeah.
Where's hata afford smoky at 30 bob? Ni 35.
Ni 40 squeeze.
Hey, ni 40. So where's hata afford vizuri kabisa? You can go through it through Christ who gives you
strength.
Yeah, just believe. Trust in Him.
Yeah.
For there is no other way to be happy in Jesus.
Yes, it's true. So love of money is not a liberty for Christians. We are not allowed to love money. The Bible has clearly stated love of money is root of all
evil.
Yes.
All of it.
Thank you so much for listening to us today.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.
Bye.